preseason, the NBA just saw its first team shut down its facilities due to coronavirus since training camp opened last week. The Blazers announcing today that multiple members of the organization tested positive for COVID-19 over the last few days, and for the suspension of all workouts due to those positive tests. The team did not say whether those tests came from players or members of the staff. Sunday was to have been the first full day of training camp for the Blazers. Team president of basketball operations, Neil O'Shea, released a statement saying, quote, "Over the past 4 days, we've had 3 positive COVID test results within our organization. Out of an abundance of caution, having completed contact tracing, we are closing our practice facility today for deep cleaning while we run confirmatory tests. Portland is supposed to open the preseason in 5 days at home against the Kings." Well, speaking of practices, James Harden did not participate in the team portion of the Rockets practice session Sunday due to COVID-19 protocol. He was expected to go through an individual workout, though, this evening. Now, a couple of days ago, Harden posted pics on IG showing him attending Lil Baby's birthday party in Atlanta, and he didn't have a mask on.
I'm not exactly sure what hoops he has to jump through in order to practice with the team. I know he has been following the protocol as far as I know, but I haven't had communication with him. And at some point, like I said, this evening, he's supposed to do an individual workout. And at some point after that, he will be with the team practicing. I wouldn't say it's his level of commitment. I would just say, you know, I want him here and I want him to be a big part of what we're doing. And I'm excited to coach him and have him be a part of what we just had out there with a good practice with a bunch of guys who are working hard on both ends of the floor and had a good vibe about them.
All right, still ahead on SportsCenter. Check out Week 13, the NFL. And could Kyler Murray get the best of Aaron Donald and that Rams defense? Depends on how Gang Green let one slip away in the final seconds. But we got to start with what we saw from Kentucky and what Kentucky fans are not seeing right now, and that's wins. Kentucky falls to 1-3 to start the season. The last time John Calipari coached team was 1-3 to start the season, it was his first season in Memphis 20 years ago. But that's where the Cats are right now, scoring way down, and those turnovers, yeah, those continue to be an issue. But as promised, Seth Greenberg here with us as we start SportsCenter. And let me speak for Big Blue Nation, Seth. What the hell is going on with Kentucky?
They're not a good basketball team, plain and simple. They're not a good basketball team. They don't compete. They don't take care of the basketball. They didn't recognize the changing defenses of Georgia Tech. And when they turned it over, their effort getting back in transition was hard. They get open shots, they pass them up. They take the ball into traffic, they turn it over. Their decision-making defensively, they got to guard the ball and keep it in front. They didn't keep it in front, so what happens? Dribble penetration, dump-offs, Moses Wright has a career night. They're not competitive. They're not tough. They don't have a point guard right now in this moment in time. They look like a young basketball team, and I understand they're a young basketball team, but they need to be better. And this is the hard thing about Kentucky, because when you decide to go to Kentucky, there's an expectation.
Correct.
And if you don't fulfill that expectation, obviously, there's accountability. And right now, everyone's accountable. This team is not playing well. They're not tough enough. They're not physical enough. They're not mentally tough enough. They're not emotionally tough enough. And right now, I don't see it getting much better until they start taking care of the basketball and improve their point guard play.
Yeah, you talk about those turnovers. They've had at least 15 turnovers in every game so far this season, more than 20 in this loss to Georgia Tech. All right, so let's go big picture down the road, okay? A lot of teams struggle early on but can find their way in the middle of the season and still make a run. How do you see that potentially playing out for this squad under John Calipari?
Well, first, I think Davion Mintz is going to be the point guard. I think Devin Askew, right now, he's just not ready. Like, he should be in his senior year of high school. He should be getting ready to play for some holiday tournament for Mater Day, maybe the Hoop Hall here in Springfield. Right now, the plays that he's making, he's driving in, leaving his feet. He doesn't know when to shoot it, when not to shoot it. He doesn't get by his man. That's a problem. He's got to develop into that. Now, these kids missed the whole summer.
Yep.
Basically, they were in quarantine. They missed the opportunity.
So were all the other programs too,
no
though,
doubt about it, but they're not starting all these freshmen and these first-year players. So I'd say go with the experienced Mintz. Now, he's got to understand good shot, bad shot, get us in offense, when to be aggressive. Those wing guys got to play lower and stronger. I look at Terrence Clark, I look at Boston. They're very good prospects. Now they've got to become players. They've got to become winning players. You can't, just because you have talent doesn't mean you're a winning player. It means you're a talented guy that has the potential to be a winning player.
Right.
What is a winning player? A guy that doesn't take plays off. The guy that drives it, is strong, and is on balance, and knows the difference between being open and then making a play. And a guy that understands how to make the next pass. And then when he makes a mistake, who can convert down the other end, all right, and compete defensively. They stopped competing defensively. They didn't recognize defenses. Like Georgia Tech did a nice job of changing defenses. You've got to recognize defense. Did a poor job of that. And then up front, now look at these decisions these guys make on drives. All right, here's a contested shot, boom, wide open three. Dribble penetration. Here Moses attacks the closeout.
That can't happen.
Gets beat. You got to stay between the ball and the basket. Everyone teaches you in high school. Stay between the ball and the basket. Lays closeout, wide open three. The inability to defend the basketball. If you can't defend the ball, you can't defend. So if you get beat off the dribble and now you're in rotation, two things happen. Dump off layups, or the ball goes on the glass and people get to the offensive glass. They didn't guard the ball on the perimeter. They didn't take care of the basketball offensively. Their shot selection was suspect. They're going to get better. There's no doubt. Cal will try to figure it out. But now they've got two problems. They got to get better in terms of their ability and their understanding of college basketball. And now, self-doubt.
Yeah.
Because these guys thought, here's the deal, Michael, and you follow it. These guys think you go from high school to college, it's easy. They watch it on TV, go, yeah, I can do that. That jump from high school to college is really hard. Learning how to compete, learning how to play with other good players, understanding that now these scouting reports are sophisticated, they're taking away what you do well. It's a lot more physical. You take a play off, you get exposed. You take a bad shot, and it's a transition play the other day.
Right.
These other guys you're playing against, they're preparing for the game. They're on scholarship also. They have expectations also. So the mental aspect for John Calipari is as important as anything else he's doing. Getting him to understand how hard you got to play, how competitive you have to be, but also massaging their egos.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Hey, several days ago, Calipari tried to tell Kentucky fans this is going to be a rough stretch based on their schedule. But I think even the most pessimistic UK fan did not think they would be 1-3 to start this season. More on Kentucky as we get along with the season. But right now, take a look at a pair of top 25 teams who are in action today. Number 12, Villanova. Number 17, Texas. Jay Wright taking on an undefeated Texas team. And midway through the first half, Matt Coleman in the corner. Three, knocks it down. Texas goes up 4. Coleman led all players with 11 points in the first half. Less than 5 minutes to go before the break. Villanova down 4. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. How about that strong move, Seth?
Jeremiah Robinson-Earl is a grown man. His ability to stay on balance and finish. And the big interesting thing to me is with Gillespie on the floor, Villanova was plus 11. Without him, they were minus 7. They need him on the court to settle them down.
Justin Moore had 19 points. Villanova extends their lead to 5 here in the second half. And then off the miss, Robinson-Earl for the putback and 1. Villanova takes an 8-point advantage. 12 minutes to play. Texas down 8. Coleman, a grown man move.
You can't let him get to his left hand. You let him get to his left hand, and he is going to punch it on you. Coleman's development has really been fun to watch. He's been an excellent leader for this team.
He led the Horns with 17. And then here, Greg Brown misses the alley-oop, stays with it. Hits a long 2, so now it's just a 4-point advantage for Nova. Less than 3 to play. Texas down 3. Courtney Ramey knocks it down. We've got a tie game, Seth.
Got a tie game, so who do you go to? You go to right here. Good ball reversal. This was a substitution. Jay right there coming out of that timeout. He subs in and brings Swider in the game. Shot fake, sidestep, knocks down that big 3.
And then here, Colin Gillespie with a steal up the court. Boom, ball game. Robinson-Earl, 19 points, 9 boards. Nova wins at 68-64. Second win this season against a ranked opponent. And so they join number 1 Gonzaga as the only team with multiple wins over ranked opponents so far to start this season. If we go a little deeper inside the box score, the Longhorns actually outscored the Wildcats from 2-point range and beyond the arc, but went just 3 for 6 from the charity stripe. Villanova made more free throws in the final 15 seconds than Texas made all game. So you mentioned Gillespie. He finished with 12 points, including some clutch free throws down the stretch that did not make the highlight, but you alluded to it a little bit in the highlight. What exactly does he mean to Jay Wright's squad?